Hello and welcome to the first ever month-long round of Becca's Bookoplathon. This video I'm going to be using as my monthly wrap-up. So basically this month I'm just going to vlog every book that I read for this month, and all of my stats and everything will be at the end of this video and all that fun stuff. But right now it is September 1st and I'm about 100 pages in to my first book, which is How to Fall by Jane Casey. This book was picked by my lovely friend Natasha. If you want to see the process of her picking this book, I'll leave my TBR video down below so you can see the friend pick process, because it was quite a process. But I'm on page 100 of this right now and it kind of sucks. Not really enjoying it. I kind of am, in like a way that I hate it, you know, like it's one of those books where it's so bad that it's almost enjoyable. I'm just hate reading, basically. It's definitely very compulsively readable, so that's good. Like it's not a drag. I'm not having a hard time reading it. It's just that the main character is so fucking insufferable. She just thinks that she is top shit, that she's smarter than everybody. Everybody else is this big old slut. But she's really intellectual and she's so good and pure and kind, and everybody else is just dumb and slutty, is basically her thought process. Synopsis, I'm terrible for that. This one is about a girl who's going to go visit her aunt in a nearby town in the UK with her mom for the summer. It'll be her first time meeting that side of her family ever in her life, and last year her cousin died in mysterious circumstances. People aren't sure if it was an accident, if it was suicide, or if it was murder. Nobody knows, and for some unknown reason our main character takes it upon herself to figure it out for everybody else. Not because she wants to bring closure or, you know, whatever it is. It just basically is just a puzzle that she wants to solve, because not knowing the answer is bothering her, because she's so intellectual that she just needs all the answers to everything all the time. And she basically wants to figure it out because nobody else could, and she wants bragging rights and she wants to be right, and it's really fucked up. And she's so insensitive. Like she literally never met this person. She never once in her life met her cousin, and then she comes into this town, into her home, and starts like asking questions that she should not be asking. She's really prying into her life and trying to learn all of her deep dark secrets and all the secrets of like those around her, and it's really insensitive and just awful. She's a horrible person, but she doesn't see it. She thinks that she's so good and I'm like, what the fuck? Because she's not. She's a bitch. She is a straight up bitch, and I hate her so much. The writing style is not that bad. It's not good, but it's shockingly not terrible. I don't think this one's going to get a very high rating. I think I'll finish it pretty quickly though, so that's always good. But yeah, I am going to go read this and I will check in with you guys later on. Bye. Hey, it's September 3rd and my phone is dying, so I'll do this really quickly, but I have done it. I have finished How to Fall by Jane Casey, and it was indeed horrible. This is getting a 1 star. It was so bad. Like, it was almost enjoyable in the sense that it was fun to see how bad it was. You know, like I was just reading it and I'm just like, how did the author think that this was a good book? How did the editing team think that this was gonna be a good book? I don't know, but it wasn't. Just everything was bad. It was like nothing made sense at all. The main character like big plan at the end for how everything was going to get solved was so stupid, and yet it somehow worked. It was actually just the dumbest thing that I've ever read in my entire life. So did not enjoy this one, except for the amount that I hated it, and it was just this whole thing was just a roller coaster. There was zero intrigue at all. I was not invested in the story whatsoever. All the characters sucked, especially Jess. She is so goddamn judgmental about everybody and everything all the time. Like, she has herself on this massive pedestal and everybody else is either slutty or dumb or just whatever insult she could think of. Oh, but like, she's so perfect though. And yet she's a total bitch to everybody. I hated how she was with her mom.
She was so mean to her mom this entire book, and that was really annoying. Like, she was mean to everybody, but especially to her mom, when I didn't really feel like her mom deserved it. Like, she was getting mad at her mother for not confiding, like, her past traumas with her, when I'm like, that's none of your goddamn business, you know? So, you know, like, she was trying to ask her mom questions about things that she had no business asking, and then getting pissed off when her mom wouldn't tell her. And I'm like, that you don't know, like, you're not entitled to that information. Nobody owed her any of the answers that she was asking, and it was just bad. Like, I didn't get her motivations at all. I didn't understand why she was so invested in learning what happened to Freya. Like, yeah, she was her cousin, but they'd never met before, so why did she care so much? Like, what was the whole point of her going to all this trouble, like literally almost getting herself killed, to find out what happened to this one random girl who she'd never met before? Like, the motivation just wasn't there for me. It would have made sense if this book was from the perspective of the sister. That would have made way more sense, because then, yeah, I can see the motivation. I could totally see why Freya's sister would have wanted to find out what happened to her. But some random cousin that nobody had ever met before, like, why was she the one to care that much and be that invested in this mystery? I don't get it. It didn't make sense. There was very little thought that went into this book, it seemed. There was really no big plot twist either. It was just all around terrible. And there were some things that, like, weren't resolved either. I mean, I guess this is a series, so maybe they get resolved later on, but I will not be continuing on with this series. Also, trigger warning that I was not expecting, there is a straight up pedophile in this book. Wasn't expecting that, but, you know, it was there. And again, did not get resolved whatsoever, so that was great. Yeah, this book was not good. I do not recommend it at all. Will not be carrying on with the series, and I'm glad to have finished it. But this was my first book done for Bookoplathon. This was my friend pick book, which my friend Natasha chose for me. Sorry, Natasha, that your pick sucked, but yeah, that's okay. Honestly, I knew the second that my friend picked this one that it was going to be bad. I could tell just off the cover. And you know, people always say, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you can. Sometimes you can. And in this case, I did, and I was correct. So I'm very glad that this is over. I'll probably never read another book by this author, because the writing style was terrible, the world building was awful, the atmosphere, like, everything was just not well done. So yeah, that's that on that. Next up, I'll be starting, what is this called? And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness, which the lighting is not good here, but I still have no idea what this book is about, but I guess I'll find out as I read it. This is a very, very short book, so I'll probably finish it either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how much reading I can do tonight. But I'm going to start this one next. I am cooking dinner right now, so I'll start that book probably later on tonight, and I will let you know what it's actually about whenever I find out. So, bye. Hey, so it's now September 6th, I think, and I've just finished And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This was pretty good. It wasn't, like, spectacular, but I did really enjoy it. I gave it 3.5, maybe a 4-star. Compile had it at a 4, but I think it's probably more like a 3.5. Anyways, it's somewhere in that range, and I still never did an actual synopsis of what this book is about, so I'll do that now that I've actually finished it. But basically, it's a reimagining of Moby Dick, told from the perspective of the whales. And in this story, Moby Dick is not a whale. He is a man named Toby Wick, who's been murdering whale pods for decades, and no one's ever seen him and, like, lived to tell the tale. So he's pretty much a myth, and, like, nobody's ever seen him. He's seen as a devil. So this story follows one whale and the pod that she's in, who believes it's their destiny to find Toby Wick after they come across a ship that's been destroyed in the water, but there's one person still alive on it somehow, and he's holding a coin that has the initials TW on it. So they keep the human as an informant, trying to get information out of him, and they go on a hunt to try and finally kill Toby Wick, and we go from there. So this was a really interesting book. I love the world of it. I wish that we'd gotten to know a bit more of the actual world, because it was really interesting. This is a world where whales are pretty much the number one, not pretty much, they are the number one in the food chain. They've mastered the oceans. They are seen as, like, top dog out of all other species. They have their own kind of technology. They've built cities in their oceans. So it's like actual civilization. They've learned how to speak human language and other languages. So it's a really, really fascinating world, and I wish that we'd gotten to see some more of it. But it was mostly just the story of the main character telling the story of them finding Toby Wick. So which like was interesting, but it wasn't that interesting. I really wish this was more focused on the world, because that was by far the most interesting part of this whole story. But regardless, it was still pretty good, and also like super short too, so it was a nice fast read. But yeah, so 3.5 stars for that one. So the next book that I'm picking up is actually one that's not for this readathon. I forgot that I had to read it, so it's not part of my actual TBR, because I fully forgot that I had to read this. But basically, for my job, I'm a assistant manager at a adult toy store. Yep, that's what I do for a living. And every 2 weeks we have a conference call with all the managers from all the stores. But head office decided that we're now going to be doing a manager's book club, and it is indeed mandatory. I don't have a choice. And the first book that we're reading is called The 1 Minute Manager by Spencer Johnson, I think it is. I don't know. It's nonfiction about how to be a better manager. So I'm reading that. I'm supposed to have the first 40 pages read for our conference call on Tuesday. They sent us the audiobook for it, and the audiobook is like an hour and a half at normal speed, so I'm probably just gonna read all of it today. It'll take me like 45 minutes. So I'm just gonna do that right now. But after I finish that, I am going to be picking up Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this one. I really want to get this stupid manager book done so that I can start this. I want to start reading this right now, but I know that if I start a new book, I'm not going to get that book club book done. And then with my luck, I'm going to get called on during the meeting and I won't have read it. So I'm just going to read it right now, and then I will reward myself for doing work by reading Cemetery Boys. So yeah, so I'll go over what this book is actually about once I start it. But for right now, I'm going to go cry inside and read The 1 Minute Manager. So, bye. Okay. Hi. It's like 20 minutes later-ish. Oh boy. I said I was gonna just read this whole thing in one go, but I am literally falling asleep. And yeah, I can't read this in one sitting. It's too boring. So I'm gonna leave it there. I read the section that I had to read. That's all I'm doing right now. Oh my god. That just like drained the life out of me. I feel like I could take a nap for like 6 hours. I might do that. So yeah, that's all for right now. I don't even have the energy to start Cemetery Boys after like literally 15 minutes of that. So I think I am gonna get some filming done. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. Bye. Hey, sorry for the crappy sound quality here. I'm waiting for a bus right now, and so I'm just using my headphones, and I'm sure it sounds like absolute shit. It's also echoey in here, so I apologize. But I just picked up Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, and I'm not going to go into a full like synopsis right now because my bus will be here in like 2 minutes. But I just had to share that like they're just about to go through the whole ceremony, and I'm crying. I'm sitting in this like bus terminal by myself just crying. Like I'm on like page 10 and I'm already in tears. Like what the fuck? Okay, that's all. I will do a proper update and an actual synopsis shortly, or like tomorrow, I guess. But I just wanted to share that. Okay, bye. Hello. Sorry for the crappy sound quality again, but I have updates on Cemetery Boys. And those updates are: I'm crying. I'm sobbing. My heart hurts. I want these boys to be so happy. But I know it can't turn out that way. I knew. Like, you literally know. Like, the second you meet Julian, he is dead. He's a ghost. Like, that's not a spoiler. That is just the premise of the book. So why the hell did I go
and get myself attached to a character who is already dead, who I know can't really have a happy ending because he's dead. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm dumb. Basically, I love Julian. I love Julian so much. He is the sweetest boy, and I just want good things for him only. But it can't happen because he's a ghost. This book hurts. This is hurting my soul. But I love it. I love it so much. Okay, that's really all the updates that I had. I am on page 245, so I have less than 100 pages to go, so I'm probably going to finish this today. I have a feeling there's going to be many more tears to come. Yeah, the sun's very bright. Yeah, there's no way that I'm getting out of the rest of this book without like utterly sobbing. I think this is going to be a book that makes me sob. I haven't had that in a while. I've definitely cried at a few books recently, but nothing that made me like ugly face cry, you know. I think the last book that did that was The House in the Cerulean Sea, but that was like happy tears, whereas this is like all sad tears. The lighting is terrible. Yeah, this is all just sad tears so far, but also kind of happy tears. Stuff with Yadriel. I'm just, this sweet baby boy. This sweet boy. Yeah, so like good stuff is happening for Yadriel and sad stuff is happening for Julian, and I'm a mess of conflicted emotions, but I love it. I love it so much. I love when a book can make me cry for like multiple reasons, and this one is doing that. I love it so much. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna go back to reading now. I'll probably update again whenever I finish it, unless like something happens. But most likely I will update you guys when I am done. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm done. I finished it. It's so good. Ah! This was great. This is I don't even have words, honestly. Yeah, Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, which now that I think about it, I never actually did do that synopsis that I was gonna do like 4 updates ago. So real quick, this is about Yadriel, who is a transgender Latinx teenager who just wants to prove himself that he's a brujo to his family. They don't believe that it's gonna work for him because he's trans. So basically, Yadriel and his best friend Maritza, who is adorable and I love her dearly, decide to perform his own ritual, and it works, but he summons the wrong ghost. He ends up summoning the ghost of Julian, who is this lovely boy, who is the light of my life. I want to adopt him. I love him. Anyways, basically he ends up summoning Julian, who has no idea how he died. He's just all of a sudden dead. And so they strike up a deal that Yadriel and Maritza will help Julian find out what happened to him, make sure that his friends are okay, and then after they figure all that out, then Julian will allow him to release his spirit and finally prove to his family that he is actually a brujo. But then after a couple of days, you know, Yadriel is like, maybe don't want Julian to leave because he's so sweet. He's just this ball of energy. I love Julian. I love Julian so much. Yeah, so that's a very quick, pretty shitty synopsis of what this book is about. It was so good. I don't have the words. I'm a ball of emotion. Oh my gosh, this story was incredible. It's 5 stars, by the way. Yeah, like this was so good. This was great. This was so good. I don't like that's really all that I can say about it. It's just that. It wasn't perfect. Like, I did find some of the plot points near the end, the like plot twists, to be like not like predictable, but nothing was surprising. Basically, you know, like basically the plot followed the most logical sequence of events, which isn't a bad thing. But I was finding that like all of the big reveals and everything, like and like all the shit that was going down at the end there, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like nothing like took me by surprise, or like really like, ooh, you know, because like it all made sense. Which again, not a bad thing, because it was a really well done story. I thought it was so good. So good. Very just wow. But yeah, just not like the most surprising of plot twists, or you know, yeah, like I didn't like predict things. I didn't see most things coming. There were a few things that I did, but some things I like didn't think they would happen. But yeah, it just wasn't like surprising at all. Yeah, I'm over explaining. It's fine. Just read this. Yeah, you know what? Just in conclusion, read this book. It was amazing. This book will change your life. I loved it. I loved every second of it. There is nothing that I like outright dislike at all. It was all great. I loved all of the characters. I love the writing style. Is fantastic. I didn't realize that this was a debut book, but like, wow. Aiden Thomas, I am a fan. I'm a fan. I will absolutely be following their future releases. I think there's one that's showing the cover for it, the back of this one. If you can see that. What's it called? Lost in the Neverwoods. I don't know if it'll focus, but like this looks fantastic based on the cover. Looks like something that I would really enjoy. So can't wait for that whenever it comes out. But in the meantime, I will be spending the rest of my life crying about Cemetery Boys, and you should also be doing that. I'm gonna stop babbling and just like repeating the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I really have like nothing to contribute to the review of this. It's just basically just me gushing over how amazing it was while providing like no insight to it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not a good reviewer. I'm just here to rant and fall in love with things. It's fine. Just read this. I'm gonna put it down now. But I don't want to. Like, I just want to hold it. I just want to hold this book and look at it and be happy. That's all I want in life. I love this book so much. Okay, I'm done now. So the next book that I'm going to be picking up is Prince Caspian by C.S. Lewis. It's book whatever, 1 or 2 in the Chronicles of Narnia series, depending on how you want to classify book 1 or book 2. I'm calling this book 2. I don't actually know what happens in it, but portal fantasy. So hell yeah, you know I'm excited. I know that it's a children's series that is portal fantasy. I don't really know what happens in like the other 6 books. I only knew like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe plot, and that's it. So I don't have a damn clue what's going on and what's going to be happening in this book. But it's really short, so I might finish it tonight. We'll see what happens. Because I also kind of want to just like curl up and watch BookTube. Or maybe a movie. I don't know. But I'm going to start this now. I might go out and get myself some ice cream. We'll see. Okay, anyways, I will update when I actually know what this book is about. Hey, it's been like 5 minutes since my last update. But I just did some actual research on what the reading order is for Narnia. Apparently, I did not know what the fuck I was talking about. For some reason, I had it in my head that Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and Prince Caspian were interchangeable. Like, you could read either one as though it were the first book. That's false. What I meant was, and what the actual fact of life is that you can read it in either publication order or chronological order based on the timeline of Narnia. I will be reading it in, what did I say? I keep getting them all confused, man. I'm reading Prince Caspian next, which I think that means is publication order. I think. I don't remember now. I literally just looked this up, and for some reason my brain just does not want to keep this information about the Chronicles of Narnia in my head.
I read it. This has happened multiple times now because I have looked into this before. Like when I was reading the first book, I looked into it and I was like, yeah, so it's either publication or chronological. And then immediately my head went, oh, that means that Prince Caspian is just either book 1 or book 2, which is not the case. I don't know. Just ignore me. I'm fucking dumb, apparently. Anyways, I'm going to be reading these books in publication order. So for Bookoplathon, I am reading Prince Caspian next. It's the whole point of this rant. Okay, I'm going to actually start this book now. Even though I'm annoyed as hell because the edition that I have, this giant bind up of all of them, huge, it goes in chronological order, which means that I am starting this book at page 311. So I'm going to be reading like right smack in the middle of this book, and that bothers me. I don't like that, but whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go start that. Okay, bye. Okay, hello. It's a couple of hours later. It's still the 11th, or actually I think it's past midnight, so I guess it's the 12th. Whatever. But I finished Prince Caspian by C.S. Lewis, and it was good. It was good. I think I had kind of the same thoughts about this one that I do about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That being that I'm just not the right like target audience. So my thoughts are that I love this world. Like, I am in love with the world of Narnia. This is my first time reading this series that I can remember, at least. I might have read them as a kid and just forgot about them. But as far as I know, this is my first time reading these books, and I just watched the movies, or at least 2 of the movies, I think earlier this year for the first time. So, like, this year has been my first introduction to the actual world of Narnia. However, Narnia has been in my brain since I was a child. I think one of my friends was reading it when I was a kid, and she was telling me about it, or like something. I just heard about it when I was a kid, and even though I never read the books or anything, the world of Narnia has been in my head for so long that it's just like kind of a part of who I am, even though I'd never read it before now. So Narnia as a world has a very, very special place in my heart. I absolutely adore Narnia. So, like, the world and everything is just so incredible. And I loved this book because, like, we got more about the lore and the history of Narnia and everything. So that was really fun, and I really, really enjoyed that. But the downside was mostly the plot. And this is where the fact that I'm not the target audience comes into play. And that's why it's kind of tricky to rate this book. Because my issue with the plot is that it just wasn't enough, you know, like it would just, everything felt so rushed and skipped over because it's a kid's book. They can't go into detail about the battles and the planning and everything, and like all the magic system and all this stuff. Like, they can't go into that detail because it would be too gory for kids, and also kids wouldn't understand it. So of course, like, it makes sense for it to not go into that much detail about it, but I want it to because I'm an adult reading a kid's book. So for me, that's where this book and this series as a whole has kind of fallen flat so far. It's just that it's not descriptive enough, it's not enough detail. I want the drawn out battle scenes and everything. I think I would love this series if it was like rewritten for adults. If that exists, somebody please tell me, because I need that in my life. But yeah, so I gave this one 3 stars. I think I didn't actually use Copile for this. I just kind of do it based on feeling, but I'm thinking 3 stars is about right, because again, world fantastic. I love the characters, the magic is really cool, all this stuff. It's just the plot that's like kind of meh. And I mean, like, it's not bad, it's just like I like the concepts, and I like where the plot was going. I just needed more description out of it, basically. But like, I also have a hard time faulting it because it is written for children, so I feel bad kind of rating it lower, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't enjoy the plot, so why would I give it a higher rating when I didn't enjoy it? Anyways, 3 stars is what it's getting. So yeah, so there's that one. I have 2 books left on my TBR for Bookoplathon. I might end up having to do another roll, because I think I'll probably finish these 2 books pretty quickly. I have A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab and The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. Queen of Nothing I'll definitely finish really fucking fast. I'm probably going to do the audiobook for that one and like follow along with the actual physical book, because that's what I've been doing for the other 2 books so far, and I've really enjoyed the audiobooks. So I'll probably finish that like pretty quickly because I'm so hyped for it. And then I just have A Darker Shade of Magic, which if V. Schwab's like YA and adult novels or anything like her middle grade books, then I'll probably fly through it as well. I'm not sure how much her writing style differs between the different age category, age ranges, whatever, that she writes in, but her Cassidy Blake series reads so quickly, and I'm not sure if that's just her writing style or if it's just because it's middle grade. But if this book is anything like that in terms of how the writing is, I'll probably get through pretty quickly. So we'll see. I'll most likely have to do another roll though, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, anyways, it's like almost 12:30 now, and I have to be up for work tomorrow. Oh god, I have to be up in like 7 hours, and I don't want to. I just want to read. That's all I want to do. But can't do that. I have adult responsibilities to get to tomorrow, so I'm gonna get to bed. Goodbye. Hey, hi, how are you? So I am a bit more than halfway through A Darker Shade of Magic. I'm on page 215, give or take. Loving this. This is fantastic, and I have finally read enough that I can actually give a synopsis. I had pretty much no idea what it was about before I picked it up. I just knew that it was portal fantasy, so like don't really need to know anything else basically. But now that I'm actually a good chunk of the way through, I have figured out where it's going. So this is a portal fantasy in which there are currently 3, formerly 4 different versions of London, and our main character Cal is one of the very few people left who can travel between them. So officially he works as messenger, I guess, for the crown. Son, can you not? Why? God damn it. And we're back. So yeah, so Cal, the main character, is able to travel through all the Londons. So his official title is like a messenger for all of the crowns from all the Londons. And he travels between them delivering letters and correspondence and boring shit. But he also likes to smuggle trinkets and stuff from the different worlds and sell them to people for money or other things. That sounded sinister. It was not. He just likes it. It's just a hobby basically, because it's like a small act of defiance until it gets him in some big trouble when somebody asks him to bring a thing to somewhere, and he realizes that he's been set up, and what he's actually been given is a rock full of magic from Black London, which was destroyed centuries ago because the magic like corrupted them, and they basically just tore themselves apart, and Black London has been cut off. So he was given the stone, not knowing what it was, quickly learned that it is from Black London, and now he's like, shit. So yeah, so he has to deal with this rock. I believe means he's gonna be going to Black London, which like I'm pretty fucking hyped for. I want to know what's gonna happen there. Basically just the story of him getting to there with a sidekick who is human and annoying, and I love her. Her name is Lila, and she's great. She is such a little shit. Like she just inserts herself into things when it's not her business to be there, and she's like, I'm gonna come with you because I can, and you can't do anything about it. And he's like, God damn it, you're right. It's great. I love her. She's really fun. I really like Cal. Cal is fantastic. Big fan of him. He's like, I just want to know what's happening with his coat. I'm obsessed with his coat. He can like turn it inside out, and it's all of a sudden a different coat. He was telling Lila that he has no idea how many coats there are. They just keep surprising him every time it turns, and it's like, oh, this is a new one, and then there we go. I love that. I think that's so fun. And just in general, this book is really fun. It kind of has this really interesting vibe that I don't know how to explain, but it feels like it's, I don't know how to explain it, but like, basically, it makes me think about the atmosphere of like a magician at like a children's party, but a lot more sinister. You know, like I wouldn't be surprised if Cal went to pull a rabbit out of a hat, but it was like just the head and it was dead and dangling, you know? That's kind of the vibe that this gives, that like kind of whimsical magician, like sleight of hand kind of thing, like card tricks, like Chris Angel, all that bullshit that I loved when I was younger. This kind of has that really fun, magical vibe to it, but it's a lot darker, and I like it. It's not super dark, like it's kind of dark and gritty, but like in a very YA kind of way, which is perfect for me because I like the concept of dark and gritty, but I don't like actually reading the dark and gritty aspects. So this so far is like I'm just loving this. I am really, really enjoying it. This is just exactly the kind of book that I like, you know? It's portal fantasy. So like off the bat, it's getting major points for me. It has a fun main character who is kind of a prick, but also not really. Another main character who's also a prick and just genuinely is, but like in a fun way. And then just like a really interesting magic system, a really cool world. I am fascinated by the Antari, everything. Like I want to know what's going on, and just overall I am really, really feeling this book. I would like to devour this entire series in one go, but not gonna do that, although I might, we'll see. But yeah, I am cooking dinner right now, so I'm going to go pull that out of the oven before everything burns. And then I'm probably gonna get like a good chunk of the way through this tonight. I doubt that I'll finish it tonight because I do have to edit a video and also film a video today, which I meant to do on Friday, and then I spent the entire day reading. So like I have to edit tonight and I have to film. But anyways, before my food burns, I am going to sign off, and I will catch you guys later when I've probably finished that. I might check in again before I finish it, or I might just blow through the rest of it in one go. Well, who knows? Who knows? But bye for now. I finished it. It is done. Oh my god. Y'all. What the fuck? This book was so good. This month has been amazing. I've read some really good shit this month. Just this whole year in general has been fucking incredible for books, and I'm happy about it, but also what the fuck? Oh my god. This was amazing. 5 stars, obviously. Yeah, I don't have words. I really don't. I'm so happy. I'm on like cloud 9. I'm in a bookish high. It's fantastic. I'm in such a great mood. I have to go to bed. I have to be up in like 7 hours, and I don't want to be awake. I just want to read the next book, but I can't. Yeah, so 5 stars. Just like there were some things that I didn't love about it, but just overall this book was so fantastic that I have to give it 5 stars, even though it wasn't technically perfect. But it was so close that I don't even care, but just amazing. So the thing that I didn't love about it was like not so much a lack of world building, but I wish that there had been more descriptions of the world building. I don't think this is a spoiler, but if it is, I apologize. Just if you don't want to be even potentially spoiled for this book, then just mute it for a minute. But when Lila first gets to Red London and she's like seeing it for the first time, and she's like looking at the parade and the festivities and everything, she was so excited. And like that description of her seeing this world for the first time, as though like the reader was seeing, because it was our first time like really seeing it too. I really wish that had been more drawn out, and like we just got to see a bit more of like Lila's reaction to seeing this world, and like seeing Red London from the eyes of how we would see it if we went there. Because for me, as I'm sure we all know by now, I am a sucker for world building. The world in a book is the most important part for me. If I don't care about the world, I don't care about the book. So while I fucking loved all of the world in this book, I really wish that we just gotten a little bit more drawn out description so that we could like just really just revel in the magic of these worlds and just really enjoy it. Just really savor those first few moments of seeing these Londons for the first time. I kind of wish those had been more drawn out, but like they just like got to the action a little bit too quickly. And like I loved the action, don't get me wrong, but I want more Red London.
and White London, and like I wish that we would have had a little bit more time spent with just enjoying the world instead of just going right into murdering, you know? Which, like, still good. Love all the death. It's great. but yeah. So that was like my one gripe with it. That, and like the plot was fantastic. I loved how things went. But same thing with Cemetery Boys. It was like the most logical series of events. I didn't predict anything, but I also wasn't surprised by anything. Not really a negative, because like it still was really good, and I still like 100% enjoyed the plot and everything, but like I had no like oh my god moments, you know? Again, same thing with Cemetery Boys. I don't know if it's just me, if I've just like read so much in my lifetime that that like nothing surprises me anymore, or if I've just gotten really good at like guessing plots, or if it's just the books. I don't know, but I've been having that problem recently where I'm just like not shocked by anything, which again, not a bad thing. It's just something that I've noticed. I don't think that really affected my rating for either this one or Cemetery Boys. It's just a thing that I've happened to notice. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling so we can actually like get to bed and wake up for work tomorrow and not be a zombie. I'm already gonna be a zombie. I know this. It's fine. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to start the Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, and I'm so excited. I have heard mixed things. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a complete disappointment. I'm really, really hoping that I'll love it. I think I will, honestly. Like, I don't know how it could go poorly from here. I'm just here for it. You know, I'm just here for the ride. If things get wrapped up with like a nice pretty bow, I think that's how it would make me disappointed. Or like, I don't really want Dude and Carden to get together either. I like their dynamic being them just fucking hating each other, but they're still also attracted to each other. I love that. I think that's so fun, but like I like the hate better because it's just entertaining. So that's what I'm here for. Just given how the last book ended, there's gonna be some more shit in this book, at least to start. And I cannot fucking wait, my dudes. I'm so excited for it. Really hoping that the ending won't disappoint me. But like, honestly, even if it does, I'm okay with that. Because like, the first two books were so fucking good that I don't even care how it ends. I mean, I might end up caring, but as of right now, I'm just hyped. And I'm so in love with this series. And just how fun it is. Anyway, I'm gonna actually stop babbling now and go to bed, but I will update you guys when I have gotten a good chunk of the way through the Queen of Nothing. I doubt it'll take me very long to read this one, which means probably in the next few days I'll be doing some extra rolls for Bookoplathon, so that'll be fun. I have a couple ideas of books that I really want to read, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to work at least one of them into whatever else I end up rolling. I'm sure I will, but anyways, that's all for right now, so I will catch you guys shortly. Bye. Hi. It's the 20th, maybe 21st. Who knows? I literally have no idea. But I am here because I am about halfway through page 151. So like exactly halfway through The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. Y'all. This is so good. I'm having a great time with this whole series. So far, book 2 is still my favorite, but like I am really, really enjoying this one as well. So much is happening and I'm so here for all of it. Jude is doing the most all the time and I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you not just like collapsed on the ground? Like, she has more energy than I could ever even dream of having and I love it. I don't want to do like a synopsis of this book because it's the third book in the series, so like, you know, basically third book in the Folk of the Air trilogy, fairy fantasy in which our main character Jude is a fucking badass. She is not the hero of this story at all. She's horrible. I love her. She's like greedy. She wants the throne. Like, she wants to be the queen of fairy. She wants all the power. She wants to feel powerful and have others around her feel like she is top dog and that they can't fuck with her. Like, that's Jude in a nutshell. You know, I love it. She's so, like, she's not evil, but she is definitely not a good person either. And it's so fun. It's so fun. I love it. Yeah, so I'm having a really, really good time here with this book. I'm probably gonna finish it today, most likely. So I'm following along with the audiobook at the same time as like reading this physically, and my library's app has has now given me the option of listening to audiobooks on 2.5 or 3 times speed. This is a game changer, guys. I'm gonna be reading shit so fast. I love it. I can't wait. So I'm listening to it at 3 times speed for this one, and it's fantastic. I love that. It's like the perfect speed for me, so it's great. I could not listen to it at 3 times speed if I was just listening to the book, but if I'm following along as well with actual physical text in front of me, then I can listen to it at 3 times speed, which is what I've been doing. So right now I'm about to go out. I'm gonna go do some used book shopping. Can't wait. I'm going to Value Village, as well as my favorite local bookstore. And at Value Village, I'm also looking for a little something, a specific game type thing from my childhood, because I have an idea for what I'm hoping is an original TBR game. I looked around a little bit and didn't find anybody else that had this idea. So maybe it's original. I don't know. But I'm going out today to go and hopefully find what I need for that. And then I will update you guys on that later on. The point of mentioning that is that I'm going to be listening to the audiobook while I'm walking. So I'll get a good chunk of the way through that. And then when I get back, I'll probably only have like an hour or so left of the audiobook. So I'm most likely going to finish this today. Probably. I do have to film today. I'm filming my review for A Darker Shade of Magic as part of my I Finally Read That series. So that I'm doing today. Oh, speaking of that book, every single time that I went to update about A Darker Shade of Magic, I meant to mention the playlist that I had going for that because it was so good. It is by Sam.Reno on Spotify. It's a playlist for Darker Shade of Magic. They have one for all 3 of the books, like separate playlists. And it is such a good playlist. I'll leave a link for it down below. It is phenomenal. It is so well done. Not only does like the vibe of the songs fit the book perfectly, but also like the titles have to do with the book. Like there's one song called Black Eyes, which like all the Antari have one black eye, so that fits. There's a song called Delilah, which is a character. And like they just like this person just perfectly crafted this playlist to suit this book. It all just suits the book so perfectly. And I'm like, what kind of sorcery? Did you sell your soul in order to become like a master playlist maker for books? Because like, sign me up. But yeah, it's a fantastic playlist. So check that out if you like to listen to like appropriate playlists for your book. I love doing that. I love finding playlists that are inspired by specific books and then listening to them as I read the book. I think it's fantastic. And this one was so good. It was so good and like has some serious bops on it. So check that out. Yeah. Anyways, I am going to head out to Value Village. Goodbye. I have returned from a very successful outing. I'm very excited. I got 4 books and a couple of other small things. So I got 2 from Value Village. The first one is the Complete Oz Collection, Volume 1. I've never really been interested in reading Oz, but I am doing that like children's book catch-up thing, and I thought, you know, for $5, why not pick it up? I don't have any like immediate plans of reading this, but I think one day I'll want to, so might as well have it now. Why not, right? Also from Value Village, I got Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This is a graphic novel that I've heard some really good things about. The art is gorgeous. So again, I was like $5. Can't go wrong there. And then I also got this really cute teacup set that I put one of my cacti in, who is not doing very well. I'm aware, I know, he looks terrible, but it's fine. I'm doing my best. But yeah, how adorable is this? And like it fits perfectly in there. So very happy about that. And then I also got the thing that I was talking about earlier with the TBR game that I'm planning on making. And then I went across the street to my favorite local used bookstore and I got 2 things that I'm both very excited about. Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. I've had this book on my TBR forever and I've never gotten around to it. But maybe now that I actually own it, maybe that'll be better motivation to finally get to it. And then the last one I got that I am the most excited about is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. My roommate does have this book, so I could have just borrowed it from her, but I wanted my own copy. And it was at the bookstore for $9. So, and it's in like perfect condition. Like the pages are a little bit yellowed, but like
I'm not complaining. So that's what I got from my little haul for today. Very excited. I said I was going to listen to my audiobook for The Queen of Nothing while I was out. I did not do that, so I made no more progress there. But I'm still hoping to be able to finish it for today, if I can. If not, tomorrow morning on my way to work. But yeah, so signing off for now. Bye.
Hey. Weird location, but I am stuck at work until my bus comes in like 20 minutes, so I figured I would just make the update now while I'm sitting here waiting anyways. But I've made a little bit more progress on The Queen of Nothing. What page am I on? Yeah, I'm on page 188, so I have a little bit more than 100 pages left to go, so that's exciting. But my main reason for updating it right now is that last night, I didn't film it, but I decided to do another roll last night because I couldn't sleep and I was in the mood to read something. But I wanted to be like laying in the dark in bed, so I didn't want to read Queen of Nothing because I like to follow along with the physical book for that one. So I did a quick roll on the Bookoplathon board and I landed on an ebook or an audiobook, which was perfect. So I kind of picked one at random. I ended up reading this one called Rafe, a Buff Male Nanny by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and I read most of it last night while I couldn't sleep, and I finished it this morning, and it was a really fun book. I had a great time reading it. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's literally just about a single mom raising twin 6-year-old girls, and her live-in nanny like up and leaves with no notice, so she needs to get a new nanny like ASAP. So her friend recommends Rafe, who is a really buff, tattooed ginger guy who's like extremely tall, and like he looks really mean, but he's actually just a gentle giant. He's very calm and chill, but like he also rides a motorcycle and looks like he could kick your ass. He was also in jail at one point when he was younger. He was either juvie or like jail for a little bit, I forget what, but like he seems like a bad boy, but he's actually a softie. He's an amazing cook. He does all the cleaning. Basically, this book was just like a wet dream for single moms. Like this like incredible guy comes in and he's just perfect in everywhere. There's like no conflict. There's nothing wrong with him. He has no faults. And I loved that. Normally for romance, I really like when the characters are realistic and they have flaws and everything, but this one was just so fun. Like it was so unrealistic that it was just a really good time to read, and it was just really entertaining. The whole point of this kind of romance is just to have that super unrealistic relationship for like a couple of hours while you're reading it, and just have a book that has like pretty much no conflict. Like the only conflict in the book was with the main character's ex-husband, who was a total dickbag. But otherwise, like it was just her and this really hot guy like having amazing sex, and he has like the perfect dick, and like he's just perfect in every single way possible. And like he cooks, he cleans, he like does everything for her, he dotes on her daughters love him, and they end up falling in love and getting married, and like everything is perfect in happiness. And that's just exactly what I needed right now. I do really enjoy when like romance have more substance to them. This was my first try at a romance novel where like it's just for fun, like there's no conflict, there's no issues or anything, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, but I actually really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, it was just a really good time, and like I will absolutely be reading more from this author because she has some ones that just seem like crazy sauce awesomeness. She has a lesbian sorority vampire romance series. I need that. She also has one called Beards and BDSM, and like I'm so here for that. I want to read the crap out of those, and I will absolutely be getting to them whenever I'm in the mood again for like that kind of romance. I think usually when I'm in the mood for romance, it's for the like rom-com style, but like sometimes that formula gets a little bit old when I read too many of them at once, because like they are like at their core they're pretty much all the same. So this was a nice change of pace for a romance. But yeah, that's my update for right now. I have another like 10-15 minutes before the bus gets here. So I'm thinking I'm going to read a little bit before I have to leave work. I just want to be home. I will sign off there and probably update you guys next whenever I finish Queen of Nothing, and then which will probably be either tonight or tomorrow. And then I'll be doing another roll for Bookoplathon because I'll definitely be able to get through at least one more book before the month is up. So it's only the 21st right now. So yeah, looks like I'll be reading 3 extra books than I planned. Sweet. But bye for now. Hello. So it's still the 21st, it's just later in the evening. I'm home from work now. It's 11:30 right now and I have done 0 reading tonight. It's fine. But I'm in the mood again to like lay in bed and with all the lights off and everything and read, which means I can't read Queen of Nothing right now because that involves reading a physical book and I want to have the lights off. So I am going to do my 2 more rolls for Bookoplathon right now, and hopefully I can swing one of those being an ebook or an audiobook, and I can do it that way. So I'm going to roll right now. Okay, so as I mentioned in my last clip, I did a roll last night and I landed on ebook or audiobook. So I have my virtual dice roller up here, so let's see what we get. 4 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Community shelf. Of course it is. I have to get up now. So let's see. A new to me author. Ooh, yes. And roll number 2. Doubles. Shit. I played myself. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We landed on standalone, which is also perfect. Oh my god, I'm hyped. And then roll number 3, if this is another double, I'm going to scream. Let's see. Oh, okay, 4 and a 5, thank god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set in the present. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so I'm done rolling and I've chosen the books that I'm planning on reading. This worked out so perfectly, minus the double that I got, because like shit. But I am so excited. So for my first roll here, I landed on the community shelf and I got the prompt, a new to me author, which is great because that means that I can read Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which is also on my I finally read that series list. So I'll have another review video coming up for this one. Very excited. I am beyond hyped to get to this one. I cannot wait. And then the next roll, I landed on a standalone, and this is also perfect because I'm going to be reading The Goblins of Bellwater by Ringle, which I don't remember where I mentioned it, but I mentioned it somewhere in a video recently that I have been dying to read this. I've been wanting to read it for so long, but I've been especially in the mood for it. I think it was in my cottagecore recommendations video that I talked about this one, something like that. I'll link it wherever. I've been really in the mood for like goblins and fairies and everything recently, especially with reading Queen of Nothing. So I'm gonna read this one this month. I'm so excited. And then for my last roll, I landed on a book set in the present. For this one, I'm gonna be reading This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling. It's book 2 in the This Coven Won't Burn or something like that. I'll put a picture of it here so you can see it. I can't think of the name of the first book right now. But it's a book 2. It's a urban fantasy about witches. It's gay as hell. I loved the first book. I read it I think last year, and my library has it on audiobook, so I'm probably going to start that tonight once I go and I like actually lay down. Although of course now that I've gone through all this, I'm now in the mood to read Queen of Nothing. It's always how it goes, but whatever. So regardless, I'm going to go read something. Oh, and I just did some quick math, and with that extra roll that was thrown in for the double, if I want to read all of that by the end of the month, I have to read over 1,000 pages in the next 9 days. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I do this? I hope I can do it. That's usually like half of what I read in a month. And I'm going to do it in 9 days. 8 days, because today's pretty much over. Oh my god. How many pages per day is that? 1 second, let me figure this out. Oh my god. I need to read 144 pages a day, give or take, if I want to finish this before the end of the month. Oh my god. I have royally fucked myself over. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'll manage. Maybe. We'll see. Wish me luck. I'm gonna go read now. Hello there. It is currently Friday, which is the 25th, maybe? I don't know. Editing me will know what day it currently is. But I haven't updated in a few days, but I finished 2 books since last we spoke. I finished The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, and I loved this. It was so good. I gave it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this one. Oh, my lipstick is matching this. Ooh. How lovely. 4 stars for The Queen of Nothing. This was such a fun conclusion. I really enjoyed this one. It was actually my least favorite book in the entire series, but I still loved it. I really like how it concluded. I thought it was a good ending. I don't really have any like questions or like lingering loose ends, that kind of thing. So I am very pleased with how this whole series went as a whole. I thought it was fantastic, and I'm just so glad that I finally read this. This was so good. I don't think it's a new favorite, but it is one that will definitely like stick with me for a very long time. Like, I will reference this series until the end of time. I will talk about this series. I will recommend it constantly forever. So I loved this so much. It was just phenomenal. As I gesture wildly with the book in my hand, I'm sure that's not distracting at all for those of you watching this. If I just do this all the time, what am I doing? Anyways, yeah, so really enjoyed this one, and I'm so happy that I read this series. I loved it. The world was right. Apparently, this is a great series, and I'm so happy to be like part of this hype train. But after that, I read This Coven Won't Break. Unfortunately for this book, I wasn't a big fan of it. I gave the first book 5 stars, so I had high hopes for book 2, but it didn't quite live up to what I hoped it was going to be. It wasn't bad by any means. Like, it was a good book. It just wasn't like memorable at all. Like, I finished it, I think, yesterday morning, and I already forget what happened. So, you know, like, it's not one that's gonna stay with me for a long time, or apparently even 24 hours. So, so I'm glad that I finally read it, because I read the first book sometime last year, and I'd just been putting off book 2 for a long time because I forgot about it. So I am glad that I read it, and, you know, it like wrapped things up decently well. I think my main issue with it was the like plot twist, or the like solution to the conflict at the end did not make sense to me. I was listening to the audiobook, so I couldn't tell if I just like zoned out for a minute and I missed something really important, but the conclusion made 0 sense to me at all. The conflict throughout this whole series, in the first book as well, it's not a spoiler at all, is that the Coven of Witches are being hunted by hunters, and like obviously that's a problem that needs to be solved. So the way that they go about dealing with the problem, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, I thought that I missed something, and that like maybe if I went back and like figured out what I missed, it would have made more sense, which like I did go back and it still didn't make any sense. So I was just very confused by everything, and like the like logic behind it was not there for me whatsoever. So yeah, just unfortunately it was not the book for me, but that's okay. In other news, my 2 books are over there, but that's fine. I did start reading Uprooted by Naomi Novik last night. I only got to like page 10, and then I went to bed. But like, so far decent. I'm not sure if because like I was really in the mood to read this one last week, and now I think the mood may have passed, so I might try picking up the Goblins of Bellwater instead. As of right now, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to finish both of them before the end of the month. But like, honestly, I am fine with how this reading month has gone. I've read so much this month, and I did finish my like initial TBR, so I'm still going to call the Readathon a success, even if I don't finish both of these books that I have left here. But yeah, that's really all the updates that I have for right now. I'm feeling pretty productive, so I'm thinking that I'm going to go do some editing. Oh, speaking of which, I did edit the clips for this vlog that I've done so far, and I really should have split this up into 2 and like a mid-month post, because this vlog is already 45 minutes long and I haven't even finished editing all the things that I've shot so far, and now I have this. And yeah, so it's gonna be a long ass video. I hope y'all are in for the long haul. If you're not, I understand, but I definitely should have split this up. So at the beginning of the month, I said that I was just going to use this as my monthly wrap up. I am going to split that up into a different video now to have all the stats and everything. Otherwise, this video is going to be like an hour and a half long, and no thank you. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm not going to. But yeah, that's all for right now. I will update you guys later on, so bye-bye. Hello, it is October 1st, which means that Becca's Bookoplathon is officially over. Hell yeah. I don't remember what I was saying the last time that I updated. I think it's been a couple days since then, and I have no idea what I was talking about before, but I'm pretty sure I was saying that I had to start the Goblins of Bellwater and Uprooted. I did indeed start both of these and finished neither, as well as, oh god, Whoops. And I also was saying that I was going to try and finish the 1 Minute Manager that I was reading earlier. I also didn't do that. So I haven't actually finished a book in a while. I did start both of these. I'll start with this one. So I did get 35 pages into the Goblins of Bellwater. And like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think I might DNF it, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna give it a bit more of a shot later on because like I'm not that far into it, so it might get better. But like, I'm not a huge fan of the main characters, so I'm not sure if that's an issue that would improve the more I go into it. But like, it's also so short. It's like less than 250 pages, I think. 266. So like, it's really short. So I kind of want to just read it because like, it's short and it's so pretty, and I love the atmosphere. But I don't like the characters, so we'll see. If I do finish it, I'm gonna put it down for now and pick it back up after I get through my TBR for October. I have 5 books for that one, so I'm gonna try and finish those first and then get back to this one. But yeah, it's just not my favorite thing ever. But like, I want it to be my favorite thing ever because like, I love goblins, I love the fae, I love the atmosphere of this one. Although apparently it's actually set in winter. It's December, but like, it's also in Seattle. It's in the Pacific Northwest, so it's not like the kind of wintry that I'm familiar with here in the Great White North. So like, it feels more like fall because it's like not that cold and there's no snow or anything. So it has a fall vibe for me, but it is technically winter. I'm over explaining this. Anyways, I'm not feeling this right now, but I think I will try and continue it later on once I finish my books for October TBR. Yeah, so that's that for that one. Kind of the same thing with Uprooted. I only got like 10 pages in, I think. Yeah, I literally got to page 10 of this. And it's not that I wasn't enjoying it, it's just that I was reading it right before I went to bed. I was like, I'll just, read a couple of pages, get a feel for it, go to bed, and then continue in the morning. And I did that, fell asleep after like 10 pages because it was like 3 in the morning and I was exhausted. It was not the book that made me fall asleep. I was just tired. And in the morning, that's when I picked up the other one instead, for whatever reason. So I didn't continue this one, and same thing as before, I'm going to pick this back up after I finish my other books for October. So yeah, I can't really tell you much about either of these ones because I didn't get very far in, so no idea still, but that's fine. And then the manager book, I'll have that finished by Tuesday, so it'll be part of my October wrap up. I don't want to read it, but I have to. I have like 20 pages left, and I could not force myself to read that this week, so I just didn't. So yeah, very anticlimactic ending to this vlog. I had full confidence in myself that I'd be able to finish the 3 books that I had to add, and then like literally only finished one of them. Oops. I got busy, life happens sometimes, not a big deal. But sorry that the end of this vlog, it kind of sucks. It's just me being like, I didn't finish anything, lol. Anything new at least. But I did manage to read 8 books this month. Like, hell yeah, that's a better month than I've had in quite a while. So I'm pleased. Even though I didn't finish the last 2 and a bit that I was planning on reading, I'm still very happy with how my month went. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this ridiculously long vlog. I don't know how booktubers do this all the time. I know it's pretty normal for other people to have like 45-minute or hour-long vlogs, but like, holy shit, this is gonna take so long to upload. Oh god. Yeah, so for me, this is weird as hell. I hope you guys like long vlogs. Who knows? We'll find out. I like them. But like, most of my videos so far have been like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes sometimes, the odd time here and there. But this will by far be the longest video that I've ever had on this channel. So I hope you guys liked it. But that'll do it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you actually made it this far, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. So like, no hard feelings. Not that you would hear me saying that, but like, whatever. It's fine. I had a lot of fun doing this readathon, and I really hope that Becca does another one. I will definitely be doing it again. But that'll do it for this one. So peace out. Bye.